Hey guys, welcome back to Ready to Die Fighting. I'm Chris, and today I want to talk about something a little bit more on the serious side. So, recent events has kind of gotten the internet all worked up. People are very nervous these days, and justifiably so. These are tricky times. A lot of people talking about World War III. Personally, I think that might be a bit of an overreaction, but tensions have definitely risen, and a lot of people are asking, well, what do we do now? What now? And my answer to that personally is, I don't do anything different. Everything stays the same for me. The way I see it, we have been in some sort of war or conflict with the Middle East for as long as I can remember. I generally don't remember ever not being at some sort of conflict or tense situation over there. Terrorism has been a very real threat to us since at least 9/11, and I was, I think, a teenager when that happened, or maybe early 20s. So I mean, most of my life, terrorism has been a real thing. Active shooters, domestic terrorists, as I call them, that's been a very real threat since at least Columbine. I was definitely in high school at that point. So again, most of my life, almost as far as I can remember, as far as I could understand things, these were real threats to me. And a good part of the reason why I'm a prepper. So it's kind of just, for me, keep doing the thing that I've been doing. And that's my advice to everyone else. If you're already prepping, keep prepping. If you haven't started prepping yet, now's a real good time to start. It's never too late. Just by watching this video, you are better off than you were 5 minutes ago, right? I mean, because now you're thinking about it, you're doing research, you're looking for what you should be doing. You're in a better position. Anything you can do to put yourself in a better position, excellent. And I think the very best thing that you can do right now, I think there's two things that you should really be doing right now. The first is improving your situational awareness. And a big part of that, and I am guilty of this, I am your stereotypical millennial. I am always on my phone, always, whether it's Google Maps or listening to music or checking on how many views I got on YouTube here. I'm always on my phone, even in public. And that's an issue. That's an issue. If your head is down looking at a screen, that means your head's not up looking around what's going on around you. And so start working on that. Put that phone down. Pay attention to where your exits are, and keep in mind that windows are exits. Windows are exits. So look for your escape routes, look for your windows, and look for something that you can use to break those windows to get out if you need to. And that's and that doesn't have to be, some ISIS guy. I mean, that could be a fire, just an accidental fire, and you need to get out. That sort of thing happens. That could be an active shooter, one of our own homegrown domestic terrorists. That could be whatever. You need to get out, know where those exits are. I think that's super important. Pay attention to the people around you. If there's somebody who looks kind of funky, sketchy over there, pick a different route. Stay away from that person. I'm not saying go out and just shoot them or necessarily even call the cops. They haven't done anything, but maybe keep an eye on them, Stay away from that person. Pay attention to what's going on. Try to read the room. What's happening? How are people feeling? Is there suspicious activity going on? Pay attention to that stuff. And then the other thing that I think is equally important and kind of piggybacks off of that is to trust your instincts. We have really good senses. And the problem is that we are so overloaded with stimulus. We have our kids, we have billboards, we've got signs and noises and music and people bustling about, and we don't have like real threats like deer or whatever. People aren't actively hunting us at all times. I mean, there are threats, and technically, in a way, maybe people are hunting us at all times, but we don't think that way, and so we kind of ignore our instincts. But that doesn't mean that they're not still there. Our bodies can pick up on dangerous stuff. Trust it. I went to a training about active shooters, and one of the things that they talked about was people have a tendency to kind of deny or argue with themselves about what they know is true. They hear a gunshot in the office, and instead of saying, holy shit, that was a gun, I need to do something. They say, no, it was probably like an engine backfired. In an office? In a church? In a movie theater? Probably not. Or maybe somebody just dropped a book really loud. Is a book really that loud? No. You know what it is. Don't argue with yourself. Don't deny it. You hear something that sounds like a gunshot, assume it's a gunshot. Before you start making excuses or trying to explain it away, assume it's a gunshot and act accordingly. If you find out, oh, well, somebody just dropped a book loud. Okay, well, maybe you look a little bit silly, but you're alive either way. Who cares? Who cares about looking silly? My son asked me the other day, he's like, Mom, don't you get embarrassed? I'm like, no, I don't. He was embarrassed. I embarrassed him, apparently. Unfortunate. I think those are by far the two most important things that you can do starting right now. You don't have to buy anything. You don't need any special training. It's just trust your instincts and pay attention to what's going on around you. In addition, if you want to add some more things, I would say, there's the term EDC, everyday carrying, the things that you carry around with you every day. Start looking at that. And I would say specifically, if you were to make one purchase and carry one thing around with you, get a first aid kit. I recently, well actually I guess it's been a few months now, got a ankle rig for a first aid kit. I did a video on that before. I will put a link up there so you can watch that if you want. Shows everything that I carry in there. I've actually made a couple of modifications to it, but at the bare minimum, you want to carry a first aid kit. I'm not talking Band-Aids, little boo-boos. Nobody cares about that. You'll be fine. You'll survive. Get yourself a tourniquet. Get yourself like some gauze, chest seals, things that can stop massive bleeding, because that's going to be the big problem, that the life-threatening thing. Almost everything else, you break your leg, it hurts, that sucks. You'll live. You can get bruised up, busted up a little bit. You'll live. You'll be fine. But bleeding, you can bleed out in minutes, maybe even seconds. You have to get that under control. And if there is a terrorist threat or attack, whether it's shooting or it could be knife attacks, it could be cars, it could be bombs. Bleeding is going to be the big thing that hurts people. And EMS, emergency services, they're not going to be able to necessarily get there before somebody can bleed out. And even if they can, let's just say that the ambulance is right down the street and they can get there super quick, multiple people are going to be injured. More than likely, multiple people. How many people do you think they can treat at once? So get yourself a medical kit, get yourself some training so that you know how to use it, and carry it with you at all times. Pay attention to what's going on around you and believe what you're hearing and seeing. Trust your body. Trust your body. This is not the time to panic. Don't panic. Stay calm. Be cool. That doesn't help anybody. Ever, 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 ever. Being calm and thinking things through, coming up with a plan, knowing what you're supposed to do, that's what's going to help you. So, good luck. Be cool. I'll see you in the next video. Like and subscribe if this was helpful to you. Peace, dudes.